The galaxy station called Aurelius Point floated above a blue-white star like a shining crown. It was the place where the most powerful species met to decide the future of millions. Inside its huge council chamber, every seat was filled. Leaders from dozens of alien empires were present, some tall and thin like crystal, some covered in scales, some floating in metallic shells. They had all come for one reason: to judge humanity. For many years, humans were known as calm, polite, and patient. They talked before they fought. They listened before they reacted. Other species thought of them as soft diplomats who avoided wars and lived with kindness. Most aliens believed humans were harmless. Only a few understood the truth. At the center table sat Commander Rian Hale, the human ambassador. His face was calm, his posture straight, and his eyes watchful. He looked like a man who had learned to stay silent until silence became his weapon. But the other aliens did not see that. They saw only a quiet human who did not raise his voice. The meeting began with loud complaints. Representatives of different alien races stood up one by one, pointing fingers at humanity. "You humans are too soft," one shouted, his skin glowing like fire. "You refuse to take action," another snapped. "Your colonies grow too fast," a third complained, "but you do nothing when danger rises." Rian listened without changing his expression. His hands were folded calmly on the table. His stillness made some aliens uncomfortable, but others laughed, thinking he was scared. In truth, he was thinking. As the arguing continued, a sudden sound echoed inside the chamber, a sharp, urgent tone from Rian's communication pad. Only he heard it at first, but his reaction made others look at him. For the first time in the meeting, his eyes narrowed. The hologram appeared silently on the pad. It showed flames, screams, broken buildings, a human colony under attack. The attackers were a brutal alien war clan known for enslaving weak worlds and mocking anyone who resisted them. They had chosen a human colony. And they were broadcasting their attack to the entire galaxy like entertainment. Rian pressed his fingers together. He did not shout. He did not panic. He did not stand up and accuse anyone. Instead, he raised his head slowly and looked at the council. The room became silent. An alien elder with silver fur asked carefully, "Ambassador, is everything all right?" Rian's voice was calm. Too calm. "A human colony has been attacked," he said softly. "Civilians have been taken. Many are dead." Gasps spread across the chamber, but some aliens only shrugged. A few even whispered, "Humans will negotiate, like always." Rian looked at the large screen overhead. "The attackers," he continued, "believe humans are peaceful and will not fight." One of the arrogant delegates laughed. "Well, are they wrong?" Rian did not even look at him. He only spoke one sentence. "If we must answer, we will answer fully." The room froze. Some aliens felt a strange chill, though they did not know why. Others smirked, thinking he meant another peaceful request for help. They thought humans would send messages, give warnings, wait for permission, like they always did. But Rian's eyes told a different story. This was not the calm of a man who was weak. This was the calm of a man holding back a storm. A hologram of the burning colony played again. Children crying. Families running. Soldiers dying while trying to protect the weak. The war clan's leader mocked humanity in the broadcast, laughing loudly, calling humans soft fruit waiting to be crushed. The council expected Rian to ask for assistance. But he did not. He only said, "We will handle this ourselves." Humans alone. Against the war clan, a tall insectoid delegate mocked. "You will lose." Rian shook his head slowly. "No. You misunderstand." "And what do we misunderstand?" another alien asked impatiently. Rian looked around the chamber. His voice remained quiet, but it felt heavier with every word. "We asked for peace. Again and again. But peace is a choice both sides must make. He paused. They made their choice. Even the mocking aliens grew silent. Something about the way he spoke felt wrong, dangerous, cold, controlled. Rian stood up. Humanity will respond. And when we do, the galaxy will understand something it has forgotten. What is that? An alien elder whispered. That calm does not mean weak, Rian said. It means patient. He walked out of the chamber while the holoscreen behind him showed the burning colony. The council members watched him leave, unsure if they had just seen the beginning of a war, or something far worse. For the first time, the galaxy felt the quiet before a storm. The calm before everything broke. Commander Rian Hale stepped out of the council chamber and walked down the long glass hallway of Aurelius Point. Outside, the blue-white star shone brightly, but he felt nothing. His mind was fixed on the screams he saw in the hologram. Every step he took echoed with a quiet anger that he controlled with discipline, not emotion. Across the station, news of the attack spread fast. Aliens whispered in fear, curiosity, and amusement. Many believed humans would send messages begging for a ceasefire. Others believed humans would try to negotiate like always. But the War Clan, the Draxian Horde, knew exactly what they were doing. They had studied humans for years. They knew humans were patient. They knew humans hated conflict. They thought they had nothing to fear. They were wrong, but they did not know it yet. The human distress calls. On the other side of the galaxy, on the ruined colony of Eden, smoke filled the air. The colony's defense towers had been destroyed in the first strike. The Draxian soldiers laughed as they dragged civilians into transports. A young girl, no older than 10, hid behind a broken vehicle with her little brother. She whispered into a small emergency communicator, "Please, someone help us, please." Her signal reached the Human Defense Command, and soon it reached Commander Rian's personal channel. The girl's trembling voice played only for him. Rian stopped walking. "Commander, they took my mother, they're burning everything, please, are you coming?" For the first time since the meeting started, Rian closed his eyes. The pain in the child's voice touched a part of him no alien would ever understand. He answered softly, his voice steady, "We are coming. Hold on." The galaxy's reaction. While Rian was preparing a response, the council chamber erupted in chaos. They will strike back emotionally. Humans panic under pressure. They will ask us for protection. They will cause trouble for everyone. A reptilian leader slammed his tail on the ground. This is why humans cannot be trusted to act alone. But a quiet, ancient creature made of light disagreed. "You do not understand humans," it said calmly. "Their calm is dangerous." The others laughed. Humans? Dangerous? Impossible. They truly did not understand. The meeting no one expected. Inside the human embassy, Rian met with high-ranking officers through hologram. Generals, admirals, intelligence leaders, all stood in silence as Rian replayed the Draxian attack. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, General Thorne asked, "What are your orders?" Rian lifted his eyes. "Activate the Vanguard fleet." A quiet shock filled the room. The Vanguard fleet was not ordinary. It was humanity's oldest, deadliest, and most hidden weapon, massive ships built long before the galaxy knew humans existed. They had slept for decades, locked away because humans wanted peace. "You are certain?" Thorne asked. Rian answered, "When someone steals peace, we return balance." The officers nodded without hesitation. Humans were known for their kindness, but they were also known for their unity. When one human world suffered, all humanity felt it. The Draxian horde turns arrogant. Meanwhile, on the Draxian flagship, their leader Vorik the Iron Claw watched the hologram of the burning colony again and again. He sat on a throne made of bones from other conquered species. Humans will cry for peace, one of his commanders joked. Vorik laughed loudly. Humans are slow. They avoid war. They are prey that walks calmly into our teeth. Another commander added, even if they try to fight, they are too weak. Vorik raised a cup of glowing liquid. Then let them come. We will crush them and stream it across the galaxy. But deep in a corner of the ship, a young Draxian soldier felt nervous. He remembered studying ancient Earth history. He remembered reading stories about human soldiers, warriors who refused to die, fighters who turned battles through sheer will. He whispered to himself, calm water hides deep storms. No one listened to him. The warning humanity gave. 2 hours later, Rian stood on the balcony of the human embassy. Human ships were already preparing. Engines roared. Weapons loaded. Old codes were activated. Rian sent one final message to the Draxian horde. Release our people now. This is your last chance. The Draxian warlords laughed when they heard it. They thought it was a joke. They did not understand that Rian did not send a threat, he sent a countdown. The galaxy begins to tremble. As the message spread, alien empires began to sense something strange. Human ships moved with speed and purpose. Their formations were silent, perfect, and coordinated. There were no angry speeches. No dramatic shows. No desperate requests for help. Only quiet movement. Only precision. Only focus. Some alien leaders finally started to feel fear. Because this time, humans were not negotiating. They were preparing. And the galaxy had no idea how much they should be afraid. Deep inside the hidden chambers of Soul Command, alarms echoed like distant thunder. For the first time in decades, giant steel blast doors slid open, revealing an enormous underground hangar. Rows of silent human warships, black, sharp, and shaped like blades, waited in complete darkness. No one outside humanity even knew these ships existed. The Vanguard fleet, humanity's oldest and most dangerous force, slowly came alive. Blue lights lined the hulls. Engines hummed softly. Massive turrets rotated with the sound of metal breathing. These ships were not designed to intimidate. They were designed to end wars fast. Commander Rian Hale stood on the bridge of the flagship HLS Resolute, watching everything power up. He felt no pride, only purpose. The calm he carried earlier now looked different, colder, sharper, and heavier. Across the galaxy, aliens noticed human movements but still tried to convince themselves it meant nothing. Humans are preparing defenses only, a council member muttered. They fear the Draxians, another said confidently. They will not attack, a third declared. They do not have the courage. But then they saw the data. Human ships did not form a defensive line around Earth. They formed a spear pointed toward Draxian space. For the first time, fear touched the council chamber. The spear that broke the sky. The human fleet jumped into hyperspace in perfect silence. No roar. No flash. Just a cold ripple across the stars. An alien scout ship watching from afar sent a single, panicked message. The humans are moving. Not one ship breaks formation. Not one ship slows down. They move like a silent storm. Meanwhile, inside the Draxian Horde's main base, warriors celebrated. Vorik the Ironclaw sat on his throne, drinking loudly. His commanders cheered, showing off human prisoners like trophies. They will beg before attacking, one shouted. They cannot handle real war, another laughed. Humans are peaceful farmers, Vorik said proudly. We break farmers. But their sensors suddenly detected something unusual, an approaching energy signature so massive it stretched across their sky like a sunrise made of steel. A young Draxian soldier stared at the readings. His claws shook. Commander, something big is coming. Vorik smirked, let them come. I will crush whoever they send. The soldier whispered, Commander, it is not whoever. It is everyone. Outside, the clouds split open. The arrival humanity never announced. One moment the Draxian sky was empty. The next moment it was covered in black metal. The entire Vanguard fleet hovered above the Draxian capital world like a shadow blocking out the sun. The ships did not move aggressively. They did not roar or fire warning shots. They simply arrived. The Draxian warriors felt their hearts freeze. This was not the peaceful humanity they mocked. This was something ancient, powerful, and unrecognizable. The fleet did something terrifying. They aligned perfectly, every ship, every angle, every light, like a single organism. Then every ship sent the same message across the planet. Release our people. This is the final time we will ask. Vorek's laugh echoed through the throne room. Empty threats. Fire everything. Draxian cannons charged. Fighters launched. Missiles screamed toward the sky. Human ships did not dodge. They advanced. The first human strike. The Draxian missiles hit the Vanguard fleet first. But nothing happened. The missiles exploded harmlessly against shimmering blue barriers. Human shields absorbed everything, not even flickering. It looked like trying to burn the ocean with a match. Then the humans responded. But they did not use hundreds of weapons. They did not bombard the city. They used one shot. A single beam from the Resolute pierced through the sky, silent, bright, and controlled. It struck a Draxian fortress and erased it in a flash of white light. When the light faded, the fortress was gone. Not broken. Not burning. Gone. The calm precision terrified everyone watching. A Draxian commander screamed, "What weapon is that?" No one answered. Because humans did not brag about their weapons. They simply used them. The moment the galaxy realized the truth. Live feeds from the battlefield broadcast across galaxies. Millions watched in shock. The same aliens who mocked humans earlier now whispered fearfully. They were never weak. They were hiding this. The humans, they were holding back. A reptilian general gasped, "This is not war. This is execution." But the most frightening detail was humanity's silence. No cheering. No speeches. No screams. Just quiet destruction. Even Rian Hale spoke softly, like a man reciting a duty, not enjoying it. Target shields. Neutralize weapons. Protect civilians. No unnecessary deaths. Humanity removed the mask, and behind it was not rage. It was efficiency. Cold, disciplined, terrifying efficiency. The Draxian realization. Inside the throne room, Vorek finally understood. The calm he saw in humans was not weakness. It was restraint. And the restraint was gone. He whispered in disbelief, "We awakened something we cannot stop." Human dropships opened like steel flowers, and soldiers descended, quiet, focused, unstoppable. The storm had arrived. And humanity had chosen violence. The Draxian capital burned in controlled lines, not wild flames. Human strikes were precise, too precise. Every destroyed structure belonged to the Draxian war machine. Every untouched structure belonged to civilians. It was the kind of control that only a disciplined species could maintain, and it shocked every empire watching the live broadcast. Humanity had not come to destroy a race. They had come to end a threat. On the ground, human soldiers moved like shadows through the smoke. Their armor was matte black with glowing blue veins of energy. Their helmets had narrow visors, unreadable and cold. Unlike the violent Draxian warriors, human soldiers did not roar during battle. They did not shout or celebrate. They moved in silence, communicating with small hand signals. This silence broke the morale of the Draxian horde faster than any weapon. The breaking of the War Clan. Inside the ruins of their war academy, a group of Draxian elites made their final stand. They were tall, armored, and feared across the galaxy, but now they trembled as the sound of human boots echoed closer. One elite whispered, "They do not fight like other species." Another replied, "They do not enjoy this. That is what scares me." Suddenly, a human soldier kicked open the door with quiet force. His armor reflected the fire outside. He raised his weapon, but instead of firing, he lifted one hand. A single gesture. "Stand down." The Draxian elites looked at each other in confusion. No hate. No shouting. No cruelty. It was terrifying. One elite slowly dropped his weapon. Another followed. Soon all of them were kneeling. They had never surrendered in their lives, but humans made surrender feel like the only logical choice. Vorak's final mistake. In the throne room, Vorak the Iron Claw, self-proclaimed conqueror of 1,000 worlds, paced like a trapped animal. Sweat dripped from his forehead. His commanders were dead or captured. Human drones hovered outside the broken windows like silent watchers. He snarled, "I will not bow to humans. Never." But the young Draxian soldier who warned him earlier stepped forward. His voice shook but stayed firm. "We thought humans were soft. We believed they feared war. But they only feared becoming this." He pointed at the burning horizon. "They avoided violence because they know how good they are at it." Vorak roared and slammed the soldier aside. "I will fight them myself." He grabbed his massive axe and charged outside. And that was when he saw Commander Rian Hale standing calmly at the center of the courtyard, surrounded by quiet human soldiers. No weapon in hand. No armor. Only a black coat and a cold expression. Vorak screamed and ran toward him, axe raised high. Rian did not move. A human soldier stepped forward, but Rian lifted a hand gently, ordering him to stop. He waited. Vorak reached him, swinging the axe with full strength. And Rian stepped aside. One small movement. Silent. Precise. The axe hit the ground. Before Vorak could react, Rian placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "This ends." Human soldiers surrounded the warlord instantly. Vorak dropped to his knees, breathing hard. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. Not fear of dying. Fear of what humanity truly was underneath the calm. The rescue. Far away from the throne room, the young girl from Eden 4, the one who sent the distress call, was found, holding her brother tightly. A human medic knelt beside her. "We're here, little one. You're safe now," he said softly. She looked at the soldiers, at their controlled movements and cold armor, then at the burning enemy buildings. She whispered, "Are you angry?" The medic shook his head. "No. We do not fight with anger." "Then why do you fight like this?" she asked. He looked toward the sky where the massive fleet hovered. "Because someone has to protect you." The galaxy's quiet judgment. Across the galaxy, every species watched the footage in silence. No one cheered. No one mocked. No one laughed at humans anymore. Instead, they whispered what they now understood. Humans avoid war because war becomes something else when they join it. They were never peacekeepers. They were patient killers, waiting for a reason. And the Draxian horde had given them that reason. Rian's final words. After the battle, the captured Draxian civilians were returned home safely. Human ships did not stay. They did not conquer. They did not claim territory. Humanity simply saved their people, and left. Back at the Galaxy Council.